prison, a labyrinth of twisted possibilities. What remains of Earth is not merely a dead world. It is a fractured relic adrift in time, filled with echoes of agony, shadows of betrayal, and the ruins of civilizations who dared reach too far. The quarantine firmament holds the planet in stasis, frozen in a memory of catastrophe, where time bleeds and reality warps. Within this broken realm, Middle Earth, once a nexus of balance between the celestial and terrestrial, has become a theater of despair. Desolation coats the horizon, and the air hums with sorrow. This was not the future destined for Earth, but one rewritten by forbidden science and cosmic insurrection. From beyond the outer borders, countless interdimensional nations assembled in alarm. The devastation of Middle Earth, the annihilation of millions, and the sabotage of the long-running Soul Harvest Project demanded justice and answers. The event's magnitude triggered the activation of the multi-dimensional court system, a rare and sacred tribunal invoked only when the fabric of cosmic law itself is torn. The High Council was summoned. Witnesses testified. Records from fractured timelines were reviewed. Yet clarity was elusive. The true cause of the collapse lay buried within arcane mechanisms and forbidden rites that lurks in the shadows, with hidden whisper and desires that fuels the many possibility for future wars. In desperation, a forbidden practice was resurrected, the Wanga, a perilous ritual of interrogation, used only when truth must be torn from the mouth of madness. It was designed not to consult deities or prophets, but to force dialogue with the most violent and disagreeable imprisoned spirits. Being so dangerous, they've been waiting for due process sentenced to dimensional deportation into Middle Earth long before the cataclysm. One such entity, codenamed Bakakai the Breacher, was chosen, dragged from his eternal etheric confinement.
That's what loyalty is. You bring the best out of each other. You believe in one another. Because what is an empire? All of us together. So if I think little of you, the empire might not survive. You're going to work against the empire. It's all of us together building it. But when you're a little tribal, guess what? You're only looking for yours. You're only looking for your pocket. You're looking for your little tribe. You're fucking crabs in a barrel, bro. I can't wait to just show y'all the difference. And it is documented. It's on paper. I'm not making this shit up. It's on paper, and I'll show it to y'all. And this is why we having these problems of today. Okay? Two different consciousness. And let me say this one more time. When they keep saying that you build America, America was already built way before you got here. I said, I'm always going to say this over and over again. This place was already built way before you got here. But they believe in that shit because, this is a whitewash. The whole lie system, they bring us and we were slaves. Nah, dog. Hell no. This place was, matter of fact, we have a paradise here before you got here. In your massa. We have a paradise here. Fuck, I look like I'm discriminating on people because their condition of life. You know what's so sad about it? It's the low IQ that hurts me the most, bro. There's a low IQ among these folks. It's astronomically insanity, bro. They like, oh, why you flee? Or why you think these people flee then? How about you tell them? How about you explain to the world why they flee? Because human nature will tell you if they're comfortable to where they're at, they will not show up here. If they were comfortable to where they was, they will not come here. It's called humanity. It's called flight mode. Why they come here? Because your master, your master, done destroy every goddamn place in the world. It's not divine and it's not natural law. It's fabricated. So what are you saying? These were your Congress creation system right here. So what are you saying? We ain't no chill. Listen, you can't play us the same, bro. You can't play us. We know how the game went, bro. We know what happened. This is not the dark age anymore where people talk shit or talk and we follow. Nah, bro. We're going to question what you say and we're going to pull some senses out of it. And that's, we no longer going to listen with our eyes closed, with our freaking minds shut. Nah, this don't happen no more. We're going to make it make sense these days. So the congressional you talking about is the system that refabricates itself. So if the system refabricates itself, that means you're going to implement things into law. So if you create things into law, you make your law. That's what it's called history, mean his story. So now we follow his story. Ain't got nothing to do with the truth. It turned ours to a mystery. Shit, let me show who you guys are. That's y'all. Okay? You see that? Y'all carry the same fucking crest. Y'all come here together as partners. You don't think we know? Y'all come here together as our partners. We know. Let me show you how y'all did it as a new thing. Let me show you how y'all even market this shit like this. This is what y'all do. You see that? This was the partnership. The legislative, and the executive branch. You see that? That's the partnership. Y'all with the feds and these fake natives with the goddamn feathers. That's the combination in this new legislation. Oh no, y'all not ready. Let me show you again. Let me show you the partnership again. Y'all just knocked the one goddamn tree, y'all. Y'all not ready for this knowledge. I'm making shit up. It's okay. But we got our eyes open. We got our eyes open. It's not divine and it's not straight up Creole. But since you don't speak it, since they remove it from it, you never really make sense out of the language to what they're trying to say to you. So every time you hear this at Cajun, it's Anglicized, and it's not what it mean at all. Ask them what Cajun mean. Anybody here can tell me if you're from New Orleans and your perspective, what is a Cajun? Huh? I would like to hear that. Can anybody here can tell me what Cajun means? No. Come on, don't tell it. I mean, somebody in New Orleans, I would like to hear what they said. Cage one. There it is right here. Okay? Cajun. It's Creole. Cajun. Cajun. Straight up Creole. That means the people that come from the cage. They're those cage right there. So when they talk about Cajun, they talk about runaway Slavs from none other than many other outposts looking to mingle and find freedom, because again, the empire of Haiti, anyone that come here was free. Let me say it again. Anyone that comes here was free. That's why they were flooding, running away from the Ottomans, which is what Ottawa, which is Canada. This is why the flag of Canada is the color of the Ottomans, red and white. They were running from Canada to come to the land of the free, which is Haiti, which is the name of the empire, all of it. That's why they told you in New Orleans, Haiti free the slave. No, that was the imperium. This is what they're not telling you. This is why you find English and French in Canada. The French is the Haiti. The English is the Brit. The French is Haiti. The English is the Brit. We were at war with them over there. This is why the name of the French-speaking area called Quebec. Quebec. Let me show you what is a Quebec. Okay? This knowledge is for goddamn straight up Creole.
The only way you can produce or recreate or produce any civilization to that level, it's only one thing, bro. Art. Art is God's mind, bro. The universe, or if you want to call it the Most High, he's an architect. He's an art. An artiste. To perform art is through love only you can perform art, bro. So you think you can create this out of hatred? Are you serious? To create such a magnificent society, everybody got to be able to fed well. That means food is not even a factor no more. That means we not worry about food. Food is not even a factor of survival because food is just what we call a birthright now. Food is a human right. So it proved that society, nobody was starving. That's number one. Number two, education. To do this, you got to be educated. That means nobody was no goddamn slave. You hiding book from them. You don't want them to read. Nobody that can't read do shit like this. But you believe them, though. This civilization, let me show you how this civilization were created. Because they give you an end. Okay? Anybody notice something in this picture? Anybody notice something on this picture? I know y'all noticed. This is here in the mainland. There you go. Ground square. You said it. The world. Look at this. Specifically America. They show you the continent. This is America. How long I've been telling you that? We were that's what they call the war. Continental War. They call the war the Continental War. There was no such thing as Jamaican. There was no such thing as Martinique. All of us were coming in and out from here. I told you, all of us come from the mainland. The empire covered the entire continent. Is that what they call it? Isn't that what they call it? World's Fair? The only way you can...
The Tartarian lady right there. I mean, this is the Tartarian lady right there holding, listen, that is right there with the Haitian sigil, with the lions and everything, with the sword, that is right. So once again, that's why everywhere you go in these so-called World's Fair, you find the lions and that lady. They belong to the Empire of Haiti. This is what they call as a Louisiana purchase. Did you hear that word? Now my question is this. How come the so-called Haitians are the one with the real Tartarian sigils everywhere? Explain this to me. How? Okay. So I want one because they love claiming everything, but they cannot back it up with nothing. Prove it. That's the Tartarian lady face with the sun. That is right there again. Prove it. Oh, they can't prove in shit. What a time to be alive, bro. alive. I mean, my goodness. A golden machete. You see the fascies? You can go right now in Congress.
Thank God.
You'll see Trump right there in the capital city. Look at the handle part. This is what they call the fascies. That is right there. It's considered as Tatarian. This is Tatarian artifact. Every time you see Tataria, you're going to see this instrument next to them. Look what it is. Haitian shit. God damn it, bro. Y'all not ready for me. How is possible? Oh, yeah? I told y'all. Bring me to y'all leaders. Y'all not ready for this. That the so-called whitey men in the segregation era, in a time he don't want you to drink in the same water fountain as him. He don't want you to sit next to him. He don't want you to look at this woman. Better yet, he's gonna allow you to call a territory, a place, an area, a state. Haiti? Are you serious? Why you don't call it after him? You call it after a place that reminds your master, that remind him his destruction, his defeat. So you mean to tell me you're gonna call a place that your master, so your master allow you to do this, and you're gonna call that place that he allow you to be after a name that remind him about his defeat? Come on, man. Are you even serious about it? This is how much y'all been tiptoeing, buck dancing to hide the fucking truth. Because y'all just agent like that. Y'all don't have the guts to say, yo, these territories were Haitian. We are fucking Haitian. You don't want to say that. You'd rather be a slave than be a Haitian. That's your problem. Because Haitian is in the mainland. That's the name of the empire. You don't want to fucking say that. You'd rather put a fucking chains on your neck because you don't want to say that. This is why I'm bringing this truth and I'm bringing logic. Ain't no slaves, ain't no free men gonna build an area and name it after people that defeated the master that get your ass free. It's impossible. Your common sense will tell you, don't take that chance. I'm not gonna piss off my master because he just made me free. He just gave me my freedom. Why should I call the place Haiti? And Haiti defeated them. Not only that, they told you they cut their heads and they burned their body. And that's the name I'm gonna call the area? You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Y'all special like that, because y'all cowards. None of y'all will be welcome to the higher realm of the ancestors. This is how you got here. You got here in the Imperium boat. There's your people, right? You see your people in the back? He said, what does this image prove? It proves where you came from. It proves you was not from here. It proves you just got here. It proves that what you claiming is actually given. It's not earning. God damn, it's bars. Shit, that's when you know it's the divine talking to me, man. I didn't know the divine was an MC like that, bruh. This is what it proves. This is what it proves. This is you. You see them cats with the hats? They are the ones federally approving you. Y'all work together. See how that works? I know you see how that works. This is how you got here, bro. And like I said, this is the Imperium boat. Y'all on the Imperium boat. Y'all on the Imperium boat. Right after the Empire fall, and y'all use the equipment to bring you up in here. See how that works? Talking about, oh, he was now, you was... let me do a little zooming on your ancestors. You see your ancestors on the side? Zoom Baby said, wow, why should we believe you? Oh, I don't know what's going on the chat. I don't want to get involved, maybe. I'm not going to get involved, but man, look at here. This is how you got here, bruh. This is how you got here. That's your people right here. It's okay. All of y'all come from immigration, Ellis Island. And like I said, y'all use the Empire boat system to got here. Okay? Y'all use the Empire boat to got here. Now let me show you the Empire. Let me show you the Empire boat. I told you. Right after that, right after the Empire fall in 1912, get rid of the Imperium children. This is how you guys. Okay? These are the same people of today would have called you, argue with you, they are FBA. Okay? Whatever. But now, the reason why I bring this kid up is because he have a network that is doing the exact reason, the exact purpose of why people from the modern day Caribbean or people from the modern day Africa, once they come to the mainland, they have a certain type of mentality. Why they think so negatively about our brothers and sisters in the mainland. This is why I do this knowledge, because I just want to make sure I cover the ground so you see, you understand, and understand why we are fighting each other. And why we are fighting each other is not natural. It's someone doing this. And I was expecting you to grow up. I was expecting you to be mature, to see that the problem that you are pointing fingers at is not the problem of the people at all. It's the problem of someone teaching these people to hate you. It's someone else teaching these people to be in opposition or be in odds with you. But why would you not? Why you don't have the maturity enough to really see it? Instead, you just want to go to war. Instead, you want to fight your brothers and sisters, but refuse to point the fingers at the real problem. And if we go after the problem, if we fix the problem, we will be in peace and harmony with each other. We will understand, understand each other. What you see here is the Zeus CEO. Now, anybody that knows Zeus Network, what it's designed for, this is the most ratchet-ass fucking network that's on cable TV that perpetrated our women as savages. I don't make this up. You know it. So now, put the obvious. Put yourself on the shoes of an immigrant that's about to come to America. And that immigrant at his home where he's from, watching Zeus Network, or stumble upon Zeus Network by so-called these children is watching them. So what is the first thing in their mind? So you really think they will want their children to take place or partaking in that savagery culture? No. Okay? They will never. Matter of fact, they will tell their children, stay the hell away from these folks. Okay? These are the things.
I'm making this video for Mr. Voodoo Chief. Voodoo Chief, I watch you, I listen to you, I follow you. I like your introduction and your teachings on the Empire of Haiti. But let's get this thing clear. A lot of people are not going to go read and research what you're saying directly. But what I can tell you is that the Empire of Haiti, they had an empire. The empire was of Puerto Rico, Cuba, Bahamas, Jamaica, Bahamas, Jamaica, Cuba, and I think it was another island over there. That's the five-pointed kingdom that they had. They had the empire of the Caribbean. Now, when he says, oh, this was the, like when he shows a picture and says, oh, this was the princess of Haiti, or the queen of Haiti, and this was the king of no. When he said this was the queen of America, the king of America, and this and that, that's totally false. In the 16th to 1700s, Florida had a king and a kingdom. The kingdom back at that time, when you say Florida, the Florida was Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, that whole territory. The kingdom, the actual capital of the kingdom was in Jacksonville. There's a statue of him. Everybody sees this statue of this so-called Negro, this so-called American Indian, of him with a bunch of jewelry on, holding a tray of jewels. That was the king. His name was Centurina. They call him the Centurina. I can't say his name fully in English, but in the Spanish culture, they call him the King Centurina. The tribe and the nation he governed was called the Timiku Indians, and they was a part of the Yamasee and Seminole, quote unquote, nation. He controlled all of that. Now, Voodoo Chief, you be talking, but you be talking, but you ain't talking, bro. You never invite people who actually do research, who actually paid. I paid $2,000 at one point to read Dessalines talk about how his great-grandfather is from the mainland area of the Florida Kingdom, which was in the 17 to 1800s at the time. That kingdom was still going on when the war was going on here in Florida and in Haiti. People forget a lot of people from the southern states went to Haiti to help fight that war that we infamously know as 1804. And in return, that same empire came back and helped fight the southern wars of the Yamasee and the Seminole War. In the 1800s, leading up all the way to 1924. That's why you had a lot of Haitians in Louisiana going along the basin of the Louisiana territory of the Mississippi River with the Mississippi culture, because that was the area where a lot of us met up and shared ideas and culture. I don't want to miss saying this. In those times of between the 16 and 1800s, Marco Island in Florida was the richest place in the world, because that was the only place that every single wealthy person and king and queen and prince would be able to go. Every merchant would be able to go and trade and talk about the Continental Congress, because there was a Continental Congress at that time. And that Continental Congress was a whole delegation of different empires in the Americas working together, and they all met up in Marco Island. Those are all facts. I read that at that time, that information cost $2,000 to read. If you fast forward today, that information costs $20,000 just to read and understand. Now, for voodoo priests, I'm about to go into work. My face looking like I just woke up and everything. But sir, I don't mind getting on a panel on your page and having a real conversation about this stuff. I'm not coming on there to holler. I'm not coming on there to challenge what you said, like at the minute, every minute. No, I want to have a dialogue with you, because what you're doing, you're completely writing us out of history, like we never existed, like we never had a kingdom or anything. Haiti was just everything. Oh, Haiti was just, but no, there's war records of your kings and your presidents and your leaders talking about their grandfathers being from the mainland of America in the same Florida territory area. That's why you got the Georgia, Florida statue of Haitians. People think it was a friendship or some other stuff. No, that statue was in representation, because they came here and helped fight these wars after we helped y'all win 1804. Wars are never fought alone by one nation, bro. Never. Even to this day, a nation cannot go to war alone. There's always little fractions of other nations in the help of that fight. And that was true for Haitians and the Haiti Empire before 1804. Let's really talk. I'm making this video.
Scholars like Umar Johnson, they don't want you to know the truth, because if you know it, one day you can declare yourself sovereign and you can drag their ass as what? A part of the empire leaders. So this is W. Du Bois' father. His name is Élie Dubois. And let me say this again. A lot of people don't understand. The name Dubois, or Dubois in English, Dubois is not a French name. Let me say this again. The name Dubois is not a French name. This is how they identify it as a French term. But this is indigenous name. Indigenous mean the wood. Dubois mean the wood. So his name is Élie the Woods. So we know this how indigenous people call themselves. They call themselves after nature. They call themselves after things. Just the same in voodoo. Once you initiate, they're giving you a name of a thing. This is ancient indigenous stuff. They can call you Ougan Pape Shai. Pretty much mean a Ougan that's not worry about strength. They might calling you Mambo Pichot. That mean a mambo that's very hot. So these are indigenous term and indigenous name that stream down from the ancient empire. This is why every single leaders of Haiti have an indigenous name. For an example, Toussaint Louverture is an ancient indigenous person. I'm going to tackle this to you so you get it, okay? So that's why they call him Louverture. Louverture is a French term that identified to what? The opener. So what you call the Papa Legba opened the gate, so he was an opener, okay? Just like they have another guy named Capois la Mort. Capois la Mort mean Capois the deaf. So we identify with term here. This is why these fake indigenous people trying to do the same here in America. They got name like Black Thunder John Black Thunder, or Flying Blackbird. They taken these traditions from us because America was not speaking English at one point. America was speaking Creole and French because they trying to say it was Napoleon. It was never Napoleon. This was our empire that been running the system. They slap Napoleon on it because they make Napoleon white so they can hide behind the truth. So they make it seem like, shit, they was never slave. It was us. We've been running. In reality, they were the ones slave. Matter of fact, the name slave come from them because they were the Slavs. That was them. So that's how they flip the story. So we carry their burden and they carry our legacy themselves. So they put themselves in the position that we were, and they change the narrative, make ourselves in the position that they were. When in reality, we help them. It's just to show you what you call backstabbers. So now let's move forward as I show you Du Bois. His father, his name is Élie Dubois from Haiti Empire. So let me show you again. We got pictures for days. Okay, so this is him right there. This is, okay, W. Du Bois. That's him right there. And everybody know what he played, the role that he played in American, modern day, Black American history. But in reality, this was eventually the fall of the empires, and they start having some of these sell out because they don't want to lose their position, because the United States corporation become powerful because Europe decide to join them and back them up against the empire of Haiti. This is where you get the European Union. The European Union was solely built, or the European Union was designed to go against the Empire of America. And what is this Empire of America? Haiti. Haiti was the empire, and this is why all the European nation joined force to go to war with us, because the joint force means they're going to back what you call the United States Corporation. What was the United States Corporation? This is what we're going to tackle here. What is the United States Corporation? Because a lot of people get this twisted. They don't know the truth. And I'm going to get back and show you what is the United States Corporation. Okay, folks, let's just jumpstart because this show is heavy. We just dropping jewels out here. Get the likes up because this is one for ages. Okay, get the likes up. Okay. Oh no, what the hell is going on now here? What? Oh no, don't play with me. Wait, let me see something right quick. Let me see something right quick. Something is not adding up. Something is not adding up. I don't get it. Give me 1 second. Now, let me show y'all, man. Let me show y'all what they hide. Okay, folks. Let me show y'all what they hide, y'all.
because this is too important. Okay, so this is actually an article from an ancient time, from a powerful book describing what was happening. But before we jump on this, we have to get the word from George Washington himself. Okay, I'm going to show you what George Washington said. That is very important, so you know what's been taking place is here. Now, I want you to read this. Okay, I want y'all to read this from Benjamin Franklin, and I'm gonna show you what George Washington said after that. This is what Benjamin Franklin stated himself. He said, "Why should the Palatines, which is the Moors, be suffered from swamp into what settlement? They will never adapt our customs any more than they can obtain our complexions. All of Africa, Asia, and America are what? Swarthy." He said, all Africa, Asia, and America are swarthy. Swarthy mean black. Russia, Italy, Spain, France, Sweden, and the Germans are what? Black. So again, once you hear about all of these nations from the past they were talking about, they all were black. These were the black nobility. This is what Putin shows you, that so-called all of his vote is nothing but black people, including their religious format of so-called black Jesus and all, is because the entire Europe, because again, what you call Europe, the real name is Europa. They were named after a black queen. And it was just not Europe. The continent name, Europa. Let me say this again. The continent name is Europa, not Africa. That's why you get the word Yoruba. It's from Europa to Yoruba. They create the name Yoruba to actually default and to hide the truth, because they don't want you to know that Europe was a part of Africa. They don't want you to know that. They're trying to make it seem there's two different continents when you can walk from Africa to Europe. Because to be a continent, you need a large body mass of water that separate these nations from a long distance. And in reality, they don't. So Europe is a made-up continent. By these people redact the narrative. They changing everything. So again, Benjamin Franklin telling you the truth, that the entire place was running by black people. So where they get this notion from him? So where the hell they get this notion that it was just white people selling black people? Huh? Where? It never happened. He told you the English, the Saxons, all of them were swarthy, what you call black. Now, let's move on. That was from his word, okay? Benjamin Franklin word. Now, let me go further, because they don't want you to know these truths. They just to show you. Now, this is a book y'all need to go check, okay? Go check this book out, because these books, they cost a whole lot of money, because they don't want you to know, okay? This is the white slave. They were white and they were slave. This is untold history of the enslavement of the white in what? Early America. Let me say this again. That's why they put the term early America. Early America mean the empire. When we was running the empire, because early America was already divided. You have a part that the British was running. You have another part the Spanish was running. And us, the entire middle part of America, in South America, we were the one controls of it. That was the empire we was running. And that's why we go to war against both of them. We go to war against the Spanish to stop the slavery. And we go to war against the British to do what? To stop them, because they were the one profiting from these white people. But the term when they said France was fictitious. Let me say this again. The name France, that they say, oh, we get our independence from France, it was never France. That's a fictitious story to hide our empire. The empire that we was running was actually the empire they call France. This is how they flipped the story, so you never knew the truth. They reduced our empire to slave revolt. Let me say this again. They reduced our empire to what you call a slave revolt. Because they're like, we can digest that. There was little slave, but in reality, that was them. The revolt was these white people. 1804 was them, for them. Let me say this again. 1804 was for white people. We fought with, that's why they told you they're trying to lie. Because, even though they're trying to hide the story, they're going to still throw a little bone at you if you know. You know. They're like, oh, the Polish was there. They only stated the Polish. Oh, the Polish joined the fight because they just, really? Nah, the Polish didn't join the fight. The Polish was fighting for their life because they were servant, they were slaves. It was not just the Polish. The German was there. That's where Trump people's from, okay? It was Polish, German, British, Irish, Italians. It was so many different little groups they sent that was joining force, and we win the war because they decide to fight so they don't be a part of the servitude anymore. So this is a part of what they call early America. They don't want to talk. That's before the states, before the United States of America. And I'm going to show you. I'm gonna bring more evidence to show you. This is Ellis Island. Even in the 1900s, look, this is the boat. They've been saying we come from boat. Nah, that's them. They still have this is them fleeing to come here because you want to know why? All over Europe, the Arab was still selling white people for slave. Not only it was poverty, but even in all over, the Arab was still doing it. So every single white folks in Europe, once they hear what happens in 1804, they all was fleeing Europe to come here. That's them right there. There's the boat right there. That's why you couldn't find no boat for us. They've been lying. We only got boat for them. This is the power of redaction. This is the power of what you call the Reconstruction era. Whoever's in control rewrite history, but the evidence don't match their lies. And we have evidence that prove they were the one coming in boat. That's what the term called Slavic slave. That's what the name slave come from. That's them right there fleeing to come all over America because they were known that they're not going to be in servitude because we ended the empire in the servitude. Now, you're still going to find some people here that still have a hard time to adjust with the story I'm giving right now because this is something that I'm recalibrating your mind with knowledge that you never hear, never seen nowhere. This is information that's from the divine because we've been brainwashed to oblivion. And we even have people right now that even though they've seen it, it's hard for them to deprogram because shit in the back of their mind, damn man, how eventually I'm gonna backpedal to this? How I'm gonna rewind? Because you have people with this knowledge. They should be able to see what I'm saying, but they want to deny because they already been make a case for themselves to believe in the lies. They call themselves African. They told you I'm from Africa. So the pride in them will not allow them to take this truth. And actually the real truth. And then the victimization for years, like, oh, look what the white man did to me. Oh, look, to play the victim. They don't know how to eventually see the truth. This one never you, my G. Listen, we have information here. Bear with the brother, man.
You know what IT mean? You know what it mean? It mean the God's land. It's a privilege to have a name like that. It's a privilege to claim a name like that. It mean the God's land. And the second name is Kiskea. Mean the This is how albino look. But this girl, look at her. Blonde hair, blue eyes. That is a recessive trait of albinism. Now, you take this albino chick, girl right there, you make it have a baby with a melanin person, the child will come out ginger. Let me say it again. You take this girl, you make her have a child with a regular melanate person.
Still searching for a free slot.
Navajo is Navajo. That means we will be them. It's straight up Creole. Navajo. Navajo. That means we will be them. Straight up Creole. Now, you go to Cherokee. It's shell uke. Shell uke. That means your flesh or your heart. Shell uke. Shell uke. Shell uke. Your flesh in your heart. Creole. Now you don't know it. You pronounce it Cherokee because they put everything together because this is a part of a scheme and you assume that shit have to do with them. No, it's straight up Creole. It's not them. Let's go to the other one.
Shocked off. Man, listen, man. Now, shocked off is shocked out. Shocked out. Shocked out. That means your shock, your pain. Shocked out. They are describing shocked out. That means your pain. Shock out. Shocked out. Today you say shocked off, but it's shocked out. Shocked out. That means your shock, your pain. People don't even know that. Let's keep on moving. Chippewa. This is 100 Creole. Chippewa. Now, this is how we do when we pushing chicken, when we pushing a sacred animal you call cordon, that you call turkey. When we push, we say Chippewa. Chippewa. That means push, run away, and be scared of the king. Chippewa. Today you say Chippewa. Chippewa. That means you are afraid of the king. You are afraid of the king. Chippewa. Now, the next one. Siu. 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 That means if you are. Navajo is now.
You couldn't move forward with a false identity. You couldn't move forward with a bunch of people that don't know nothing about themselves. And that's why they wait for me. They wait for this knowledge to come out. And you see what's going to happen with the new Haiti coming in the future. Oh, you're going to see. You could not move forward without the people that built the empire. It's what? The indigenous American. The indigenous Arawakan Taino Haiti. You couldn't move forward. So let's keep on moving. Let's go. So, this is your boy, John Brown, okay? Okay? So, listen, you can call them system, but Mother Nature always wins. Whatever we do, time always wins. It's a matter of time. Time is...
Trump, for someone here talk about Trump, Trump's family comes to Haiti, was actually in Haiti as indentured servant. Let me say this again. Trump's family was in Haiti. Did some of y'all, you guys ever heard that before? Trump's family was in Haiti. This is where, before Trump people come to the state, they went to Haiti first. Matter of fact, her family line, her real name is not Trump. Real name is Droff. Her mother, great-grandmother was in Haiti. Her name was Joanne Droff. As an indentured servant, the German indentured servant, her name was Johann Droff from Haiti. Trump, one of the Trump great-grandfather was born in Haiti to a region called the same father that worked, and he was a scientist. He worked with Nikola Tesla. That grandfather of his, and Trump, for someone here talk about Trump.
So I'm scrolling on TikTok. I seen Voodoo Chief put this out about the runaways. Let me tell y'all something. The first few people in the colonies who were indentured servants under a certain bondage, all right, what's called a bit bond, were European immigrants, also European prisoners. The Georgia colony was not established yet. These people would run away. They would flee from the newly developing colonies up north down to their territory later known as Georgia. James Oglethorpe establishes the colony of Georgia. It was also known as the Penal Colony for European prisoners who ran away. They broke their contract of servitude. Later, they established what was known as the Slave Fugitive Act. That was revised later in the 1800s. So yes, European migrants, European prisoners did run away. They were run.
You see that? They know the truth. His wife know he's in the presence of the descendant of emperors.
That's why he got the regalia medallion on his neck. Only emperors wear these things. Or children of the emperors. I'm going to show it to you. I don't make shit up. This is how your civil right went through because of him. Let me show you again if you get lost. You see that? That's his wife next to Eisenhower. Do you see Eisenhower got that chain on his neck? No. Eisenhower is a public servant. He's a president as a public servant under the Crown of London. Because this guy was the one that passed over the royalty to Queen Elizabeth. He actually went to here in America in behalf of the Queen because that was an exchange taking place. This was in 1950. Oh, you just don't know, don't you? I got receipt and you just have speculation. Let me educate you on that shit. You got speculation, I got receipts. Now, that's why he carried, like I said, the regalia medallion, meaning the descendant. You see what is on his chest? Let me show you. See what he wear? Let me show you what he wear. This is what I do. Let me show you how far back this shit come from. Let me show you something better that I can tell you. Okay? You don't know who you messing with. This is what's on his neck. You see that? This is what he wear. These are the descendant of emperors and kings. Let me show you again. Okay? You see that? This is King Charles right there. He was pure blood. He carried the crown. And everybody that comes, that means that's his line. This is his line in the bottom. That's why they all have the necklace. See the necklace? That is the regalia medallion, meaning he's a part of the, what we call royal bloodline. Now let me bring it back for you. I know it hurts you, son. It hurts you because y'all just talking. Y'all ain't got shit to back up. And that's why y'all don't fuck with me, though. Because y'all know I'm not only obliterate y'all weak ass, but I got the receipt. I got receipt to oblivion. I'm going to get y'all ass out of here to oblivion. Let me bring it back. Okay? So therefore, these people have nothing to do with the title they gave them. And also, these children you are witness here, the children you saw in this picture, these are the descendants, these are the children of the Trans-Pacific slave trade. There's the offspring of these people. They bought and re-educated. So they literally teach these folks how to be you. This is how they start to teach them how to take over our identity. That's the name of the school, the Indian Training School. They are training these people. They are training them to be you. Do you understand? So, there's a lot of them out there that just hate, that keep coming. Oh, stop, native eraser. Oh, please stop, remove us from, oh, you lying. No, we not lying. We got the receipts. The receipts are here. We not lying. We just sick and tired of having people to tell us who we are when the truth is out there and the evidence is here. Oh, we gonna get deep, y'all. I know I'm not gonna get the number because I told you my shit is completely new. So I'm still in probation right now because I have to do at least 3.
So it's all cap. These folks never cost nothing. They come here with the empire, which the Mongol Empire. And now within the Mongol Empire, this is where the war happens to be, to come and conquer America. This is documented of the war. These are the soldiers, what you call the Aztec. See, the Aztec was the one, because, you know, all these names is different groups that comes here and trying to identify the habitant they find here. Because, you know, they have different groups of them that got here. And each of the time they come here, they got a new names. But all of these people is literally the Olmec people that been given names down the line.
Yeah, that work. That's why they don't want you to speak Creole. You figured out the whole shit. For example, they told you that Chicago, right? Oh, it was the so-called Haitian was the founder. He was no founder. He don't find nothing. He was born to that. He didn't find nothing. How you a founder? You find civilization. No, you were born to that civilization. Now, people walking around say, yo, you know, I'm foundation, man. I'm foundation, man. These Haitians out here, or these people, these Jamaicans, are you kidding me? But this is how they love to do it, to keep us divided and to hide the truth from us, let alone these people doing this shit have no history. They don't know nothing about nothing. For example, every single time you hear the word Illinois, you really think you're saying Illinois? It's Creole. When you hear Illinois, it's Creole. It means Illinois. That means his island is black. Is that how you always see they depict these indigenous people? Tar means noir. Tar. That's why all Tartaria have, that's why they call it Tartaria. Tar means noir. So when you say Illinois is a Creole, it means Illinois. You said Illinois because you anglicize it, but you don't speak Creole. You don't know. It means his island is black. You're saying Detroit. It's Detroit. It's Creole. Detroit. 2 and 3. Creole. That's why they don't want you to know that this is what the original language of the people is. They're confusing you. Now you talk about Mississippi. You have people talk about, Mississippi Empire trying to make... This is all Creole. Missy means I am here. CP means so worse because it was war. Go looking at the situation between Mississippi and Alabama. This was the Ottoman Empire war. That's why they call Alabama. It is a Turk word for Allah. That means the land of Allah. This is those two that was fighting between the Mississippi and Alabama, the river in between. This was the Ottoman Empire and the Haiti Empire. Yeah, that worked. That's why
An administration official has admitted that the war on drugs was all about throwing black people in jail. He said, quote, the Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people. You understand what I'm saying? We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black. But by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. An administration official has admitted.
This is the guy that created Haitian history. Do you hear me? This is the guy and his wife. This is a Haitian person. This is a Haitian named Thomas Madiou. He's the one that create that Haitian come from Africa. He's the one that creates saying that they unalive all of the indigenous people. He's the one that create this story. This is the story that they print and spread out all over the places. Now, as you notice, look at his name. Thomas Madiou. Remember, these are indentured servants. Okay, look at his wife. These are the people that found freedom in Haiti. These are the people that become free in Haiti. Okay, that's why they told you he's Haitian. They don't tell you that he's German. They don't tell you that he's British. They don't tell you that he's Italian. They don't tell you none of that. They told you he's Haitian because at that time, the time that he was born within the Imperium timeline. So all of them was known with one nationality as Haitian because Haiti was the empire. So everybody in the continent was Haitian. That's why you find him like that. Okay? But today you would never see him. They would never classify a person like him to call him Haitian with his wife because everything changed today. But the time that he was born within the Imperium because everybody was coming to America. They call America the land of the free. They was not talking about the United States here. They were talking about the Imperium timeline. If you come to this continent, you are free because this was the reign of the Imperium. So he was Haitian. That's why they write it Haitian. That means he comes to be free on this continent. They don't say he was German. They don't say he was German descent. He was Haitian. These are the people after the empire fall. And this is how the empire fall. People like him, his children, the same people that get freedom here. they resent our people, and they work within the same people that was actually enslaved them. The same people that enslaved them. We're talking about the British Crown. These were the same people that were shipping these whitey people here. Okay? White cargo. There's book written, and we all knew it. So they joined force with the same people that enslaved them to take us down because of jealousy. Jealousy was always the force using to always put us in this condition that we are today. But
the Africans just can't run things. Now, this is a very, very fundamental point in the international scene. See my point?
Oh, boy, you sure see it around this place.
Well, yeah, of course you do. You see them. You know, I have mixed feelings. I receive their ambassadors. They change all the time, and I've had I love them. They're so kind and so nice. And they're children.
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah.
Huh? You know?
And they always want something like children.
Oh, God, yes, they want. Well, what can you do? I know, but what I meant is it's so childlike. The childlike faith and the this and that. And, of course, a lot of them are crooks, but we have crooks, too. But anyway, what I'm getting at is I think you've got in the field of business, you've got the field of education, so on. But there are many other areas, as you've well pointed out, where they can beat the hell out of us. Now, and they should be proud of those. Athletics isn't a bad achievement. I mean, you look at the World Series, for God's sakes, and what would either of these teams done without, what would Pittsburgh be without a hell of a lot of blacks, huh? And music, the dance, now, and these things, are they to be therefore just pissed upon? Hell no. They're important. And also, in certain areas, poetry, etc., they have a free and easy style that adds enormously to our culture. But on the other hand, when you get to some of the more, shall we say, some of the more profound, rigid disciplines, basically, they have a hell of a time making it. And Ed Brooke, for example, is an exception. We've got to face it. In terms of good lawyers, there are damn few good lawyers among any group, but in terms of good lawyers, even though a lot of them go to law schools, I mean, it is not really their dish of tea.
The hidden truth is, Jacques the First was...
Black man invented the stoplight. Mm-hmm. White man invented a ticket.
Keep going.
Black man invented the light bulb. White man invented electric bill.
Black man invented the telephone. White man invented the telephone bill.
Black man
was a racist. That's your Nixon right there. And Nixon would never dare to sit down with a so-called black person. But Nixon gonna behave though. Look at Nixon body language. Look at the so-called Haitian body language. He got his leg crossed. Nixon just straight up, and he have to listen now. Where the so-called white supremacy was in that picture there? Where were that? Huh? It's because you don't know the truth, son. You don't know your worth. And this is why Haitians have to pay. This is why every time it's an election in America, the name of Haitian has to be mentioned negatively. Because they know something that they don't want you to fucking know. They want to bury the legacy of these folks with hatred. So once you hear it, you never get to find out what happened because they know the secret. They know what the fuck happened. Everybody know Adam Clayton Powell. Look at how Adam Clayton Powell looking at the guy like, yo, we could not do it without you. Look at the face of Adam Clayton Powell. Listen now, this is why y'all never gonna like me. None of y'all. Because I stay bursting your fucking bubbles of hatred. Okay? I stay busting that shit. I burst all of it.
But the Africans just can't.
Recordings have surfaced of a phone conversation nearly a half century ago between President Richard Nixon and future President Ronald Reagan. The recordings were released by the National Archives, and they capture the two men using racist language. Here's White House correspondent Paula Reed.
President Richard Nixon recorded himself talking to then California Governor Ronald Reagan in October 1971, the day after the United Nations voted to recognize the People's Republic of China. Reagan had phoned Nixon at the White House to vent his frustration at African delegates who celebrated the vote.
Last night, I tell you, to watch that thing on television, as I did, to see those monkeys from those African countries, damn them, they're still uncomfortable wearing shoes.
The Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation said today, if he said that 50 years ago, he shouldn't have, and he would be the first person to apologize. After talking with Reagan, Nixon called Secretary of State William Rogers and adopted Reagan's racist language.
He saw these, as he said, these cannibals on television last night, and he said, they were even wearing shoes, and he says, here, the United States is going to submit its fate to that.
Later that month, Nixon laughed at these comments from his best friend.
Let's face it, who do you think will be elected president in 1972?
Well, at this moment, it is quite questionable. Our President Nixon is doing a tremendous job, I say, in keeping into the public's eye, and that is also things he's doing is quite favorable and unfavorable, but being a politician, it was a very good move. Let me say this to you, making a very broad statement. If he becomes elected, I do not feel strongly that he would serve his 4 years. But there is
You see some illness?
He has an illness that is kept quite secret from the public that he is trying to take care of now. But I also see
Black Americans are the real American Indians. This is well known and hidden in clandestine communities. Look, if we come out and tell you, then we couldn't steal from you and occupy your land. The day you find out about land patents is the day you'll be free. That's the secret.
I am not a real, quote unquote, Black American. The real Black Americans are truly what was referred to as the American Indians. Everyone knows this. It's
Black America.
Before the Enlightenment period, and
so let's go to the slides now.
Just a sec, because I just need to say, in the 19th century, the idea of Jewish blackness was reinforced by the discovery of all of these actual black Jews in India and Africa all over the place. And by 1850, the main racial theorists of the day started saying that, yes, actually, Jews are Negroes. Negroes, in some way, are also Jews. This is
Here's the point. I'm talking to black folk now, that no matter what happens, the dialectics of the situation are going to make you either get off the fence or crawl in a hole in the ground. It is the ability to take your own resources and develop a culture, a society, a community of our own, the way we want it, free from white interference, and we give you the same privilege. We're not interested in interracial housing. We don't want your neighborhood. We want ours to be just as good. See, we don't want a store in your neighborhood. We don't want you coming in our neighborhood and open up stores and exploiting us and then go home and throw a bomb if we move next door out in the suburbs. We don't want your schools, but we want our schools to be the highest and the best possible for our black progeny. See, what people don't understand, we are saying, and we're not asking. You see, the die is cast, as I said. We're not asking. We're saying this is the way it's going to be.
Well, Mr. Meek, why do you feel, as an example, just to zero in on this, why do you personally feel that Martin Luther King's way is not the way to work?
Well, it's very simple to me, because it hasn't worked.
He's talking about new techniques, tying up the city.
You don't tie up no city. You don't tie up a city. There's no such thing as massive civil disobedience. There's two things. You either have a revolution, because the moment he tries that, the police force with the live bullets from here they talk about going to open up on him. And what's he going to do about black folks laying out in the street with blood running out of their bodies? You think that then he's going to lose control, then he's going to run and call the president and say, send the troops in.
Let me ask you a question. What if every Negro employee of the CTA picked one day in September to get sick? Wouldn't that tie up the city?
No, they get tired, they put white folks in the place. Here's the point. I'm talking about
10 colonies. This is going to blow y'all away. I'm telling you, this is going to rock the world, okay? All 13 colonies had rich black people in those colonies, rich black people, families, wealthy black families in all 13 colonies, and they all owned slaves, white slaves, not black ones, white ones. And yes, it was indentured servitude, okay? But they lived on the black man farm and they worked for the black man. And the only difference between slave, it don't matter, you're still a slave as long as you don't, you can be a slave either way, but you're still a slave. But the point that 13 out of 13 colonies, all 13 colonies had black people own white slaves. Sure did. And they worked for them. Imagine that. 13 colonies. It's going to...
Was a racist. That's your Nixon right there.
Mr. President, may I ask? Mr. President, may I say one thing? I wanted to sing a song. I don't want to ride a horse. I'm ready.
Footnote 41 in my government means to kill me. Pearl Bailey was a Tony Award-winning actress and singer. She was a Republican who campaigned for President Gerald Ford and received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Ronald Reagan. And yet, in 1976, she co-starred with Red Fox in a progressive, for the era, film comedy that promoted queer acceptance. In the film, Norman, Is That You?, Bailey and Fox play parents who discover their son is gay and living with an effeminate white man.
Norman used to be the all-American boy. Now, he has purple drapes, flowered underwear, and a roommate named Garson.
Oh, fabulous!
I'm afraid my son has become a Tinkerbell.
Many of the jokes rely on stereotypes and cliches for laughs.
I don't believe anybody by that description is presently on these premises.
But Bailey's character accepts her son's queerness with relative ease and helps convince Fox's character to do the same.
How can you stay here with Norman and I'm staying here with Norman?
Because I'm his mother.
Well, I'm his father.
Well, I'm his...
Oh, shut up.
Mr. President, may I ask... Mr. President, may I say one thing?
I love a drummer boy, ba-room, ba-room, boom. I like it.
The military? I mean, ask yourself just one simple question. We're the richest country in the world. We have the mightiest research in the world. So how can we send soldiers to Vietnam, Korea, little countries that ain't got a nickel? And how our soldiers come back with all kind of syndromes? American soldiers commit suicide, 46 every day. Vietnamese is not doing that. Now, they don't have huge hospitals and research, and somebody said, wait a minute, there's something going on here we don't.
A letter to Amy Nixon, my dearest daughter. I have for some time had hopes on seeing you once more in this world, but now hope is entirely gone forever. I expect next month or Alabama.
Let me tell y'all about a black man who turned his ballot into a litmus test for...
On this day, civil rights leader and union organizer Edgar Daniel...
Let me show you how far this shit go. Guess what? Here in America, we have the largest population of O positive blood. That means... So it's possible. If not, then we are repeating a cycle with a never-ending problems. Okay? So,
Nigga, don't ask me, well, I haven't got a Rolls Royce. You have to stop. Y'all keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up. Huh? Nigga, don't ask me.
barbershop. Hey, bro.
This is my show.
This is your show. Oh, you cut hair.
This will be our boat captain later. He's a man of many talents.
This is our the guy who had the boat. And so on the boat, you move the stick, and then also you cut hair.
Yes, this is my show. Nobody used to do it.
Yeah.
His name is Monsieur Clement. He's got a small boat that will take us down the canals.
I would get my hair is just freshly cut. Thanks, bro. See you soon, yeah? Sure. Bye. One for you. I forgot you. Yeah. I forgot you. I'm sorry.
I like you now. I like you, me.
This looks very good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Can I try one?
We spot some donuts cooking in oil.
How much is it? One. 100 naira. One is 100 naira.
Okay, give me 10. This. Yeah, because it's one.
One is 100 naira. 10 is 1,000.
Yeah.
So that for them to eat.
Yeah.
You can eat one, then to the.
I'll give the rest to the kids. Yeah.
Okay.
One for me, and I can give the rest. Thanks for saying if you eat too many of these donuts, you get a little bit of a tummy.
Put 10.
Yeah, we'll take 10. All right. We got a lot of people.
Chaos erupts.
Okay, hold on. Let me start with first. That's good. Oh, we have some smoke in the eyes.
Hold on. Take your ass over there.
I'm crying, it's so good. Doesn't matter if you're in France or in Lagos. You fry dough like this, it's always going to be good.
It's the Nigerians' poem. They come over here and tell us what we need to do. You saying this is sad? It ain't sad. Them folks is running. They running over here, and they're not even taking care of home. Have you seen the other side of Nigeria? But you see how he looking at that food he just ate? He want to taste it. He gonna get the rest of them away. But I can count more than 10 kids right here in the picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the left side. And he only bought 10. So somebody ain't gonna get none. Ain't no way. I ain't going. But let's finish.
No problem. We got 9 donuts left.
Standing up, trying to look like he buff and all of this shit. Like, sit your whole ass down, man. Niggas knocking the air out your motherfucking chest. Like, y'all ain't moving like that for real. I know you not. You ain't never heard me threaten nobody on this app for a reason. Come on, bro.
It's Mexico, bro. I'm telling you, where I live, bro, if I go outside right now, bro, I swear to God, bro, I'll go outside and I'll take my fucking Mexican flag. And hey, bro, let me tell you, bro, and I'll say this is Mexico, bro, and what the fuck are you going to do about it?
He said he gonna go outside with his Mexican flag and scream, "This is Mexico," and ask that brother what the fuck he gonna do about it. I want you to go stand in front of the nearest courthouse and wave your Mexican flag and scream, "This Mexico," and I bet you your motherfucking ass vanish. I got money on it. Nigga, I give you my card information. If you go to the nearest courthouse with your Mexican flag and stand in front of that building and scream, "This is Mexico," them folks gon', man, when I say they gon' tackle, nigga, you probably have Steve McNair, somebody that come out of nowhere. Nah, I can't use McNair. They wouldn't McNair. They wouldn't in there. You might have Troy Polamalu or somebody that come out of nowhere and boss his ass. What's that dude they used to do to Gore in wrestling? Y'all remember actually show y'all the screen, right? So my iPad kind of cracked, so I'm finna get this laptop. Because when I get this laptop, that's how I'm gonna set it up. That way when I do recaps, y'all can see this shit. Ain't this better than just hearing the audio? You feel me? But for right now, we just gonna do it the ghetto way. He said he would be searching like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Hold on, y'all. Somebody knocking at the door. I don't know who this is. I went trying.
Good morning, CEO.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Morning. How are you?
Great. What's up?
Okay. So, what's you have a beef with this guy? I know him. I
I don't beef with people, but how you know him?
Well, I used to be in his line. I used to be in his group.
You used to be in his freaky group or his history group?
His group, his TikTok group.
Okay.
You a walking monster. And you know they say these cells eat up other damn cells, and that's why they say that melanin also heals. If in the right environment or also if within the right mindset. The dark realm, God of the perfect black, called chemicals. Are these cells in the blood? Those are those Boasic demons.
The Savalu continue to observe the traditional religious practices of their ancestors. There are a great many practitioners of voodoo and countless places of voodoo practice.
Lord, let us pray, save motherfucking Cracker's ass, basically.
They make every effort to observe and pass on to subsequent generations as faithfully and accurately as possible the age-old customs that are the basis of the part magical, part religious rites performed nowadays in the Caribbean and Brazil. The voodooists converge on two principal places, Nesufue and Hebioso. Both of these places are, in a sense, convents of the voodoo cult, independent of each other and autonomous.
If you separate the dark side, which I've been teaching on since January, you completely destroy the mystery of Christ.
I hate to be the kind of nigga that do a nigga a favor and then bam, hit the nigga up for a favor in return, but I got to be that kind of nigga. What? What you talking about? I need a favor, nigga.
Satanic occult temple. Satanic occult temple. Oko abrochire America and UK, Germany. Yo ekobi from Satanism, Illuminati, Freemason, and Temple of Ascending Flame, Skull and Bones. Now ansana obi emedi wa wohweme oya research awakasa we ansana obi eya celebrity ansana nipa na bedi ye obi bi efe no satanic of
Let me ask you dumbass niggas a serious question. If the Glock is only 200 years old, don't that mean the Romans black? Don't that mean the Greeks is black? So would that make sense why we had the Greek stomping and the letters and all these things? And then when the incubator babies came, did they have colleges and to have fraternities? So when we had Black Wall Street, we had our colleges, we didn't have black colleges. These white institutions didn't steal our shit. You trying to tell me some white folk came over with some sororities? Man, man, these motherfuckers putting goddamn raisins in the potatoes. These bitches cannot season chicken. They cannot come up with shit. 200 years old. What the fuck they could thought of? Everything they saw, they stole. They tore our shit up. Oscarville, Tulsa. I mean, so motherfucking many, man. Let me ask you.
Empress Nami 999. And so began a process of removing Native Americans through disease and through armed conflict. Another means was by settlement itself. Settlement itself. By settlement itself. George Washington wrote that using force of arms to drive Indians out was less effective than the gradual extension of our settlements.
The gradual extension of our settlements.
Which would cause, he said, the savage as the wolf to retire. The very process of white settlement would lead to the demise of Indian life. The very process of white settlement would lead to the demise of Indian life. Empress Nami 99.
Black men and white men were attempting to govern together. Amazingly, in South Carolina, the very first state to secede from the Union, voters, most of them former slaves, elected a black majority to the state's House of Representatives.
This is an incredibly heady moment, kind of like Barack Obama becoming president. Something like 1,500 black officials move into positions of public leadership.
By 1877, however, the cost of protecting the freedoms of African Americans became a price that many white Americans were no longer willing for the federal government to pay.
When Southern white governments begin thinking about disfranchisement, they have to figure out how to do it so that they don't violate the 15th Amendment and invite the federal government back in.
Starting in Mississippi in 1890, a wave of state constitutional conventions rolled back the right of black men to vote through a series of diabolical measures, including literacy tests and poll taxes. In Louisiana alone, the number of black men registered to vote collapsed within 6 years from 130,000 to 1,342. Black men and white
And then you start to look a archaeological cover-up involving the Smithsonian Institute, where they found thousands and thousands of artifacts. They found artifacts showing human beings contemporary with dinosaurs. A lot of this information they put on ships that dumped into the Atlantic Ocean. Some of it they got still in hidden chambers that they say you can't go in it because it got asbestos and it's unsafe. There's a part of the Grand Canyon where they have all Egyptian names, Tet, Osiris, Isis, and they got that part blocked off. They said it's too dangerous for the people to go there. To this day, this exists. The elders, I'm just hitting a number of different points because there's so much to this. You know, I've done over 15,000 hours of research. I nearly sleep in libraries. I live in libraries. This is the reason why I started publishing the books I have back there, because I have so much stuff in my library, and it's hard to get, it's hard to find, so I said, let me just make it available.
I don't put nothing past none of these niggas.
Let the band play.
Man, I couldn't trust a bitch if I wanted to. Trust nobody. No. 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 Trust nobody. Nah. All them scraps and you ain't never shot at nobody. Damn. I got 30 racks a piece in all 4 pockets. Yeah. I took that hoe to the hotel. You took that hoe shopping. Damn. He turned up on the gram. In real life, he a nobody. Okay. Jumped up out the bed, grabbed my pistol, told her I'll be back. I just keep pounds out of the house. Nah, that ain't where I sleep at. Niggas showing fake love. It ain't hard for me to peep that. Just know I'm ready to put one in your dome, nigga. Believe that. Yeah. He was a big dog, but he turned into a rat. Damn. She was skinny minute, but that booty done got fat. Damn. I was dead broke, but now I'm.
I am not an African American, I'm an American. I am a Black American, I am definitely Black. How long did my people have to be in America to say, hey, no, we're American, compared to some people who are English American, who are Irish American, who are German American from their ancestors, but they get to call themselves American. A true African American is someone that is from Africa and moved here, either first generation or second generation, and has a tie to that country that I do not have. One of the first census in Virginia that allowed for Black people to have a name was somebody from my family. So that means they were there long before. I think there comes a point where when you build a country, when you fight for freedom, make money and pay taxes and live in a country, you have the privilege to call yourself pure American. I am not an African American.
That whole African American thing is to omit, you see, the indigenous Black man of this particular land. When we brought the African American term, we cut out all of the Caribbean, right, all of South America, right, all of Latin America. And this was another way to reclassify you see what I'm saying, outside of power. The average Native American was this brother's complexion at the turn of the century. Now when you say Native American, it's some white person with a feather in his hair. Now when you say Native American, it's some white person with a feather in his hair. Now when you say Native American, it's some white person with a feather in his hair. How you gonna say God bless America and freedom, and the land is not even your land? You killed off of people and put other people in slavery, but the other history is that half the people they killed off of the land was Black people. So half the people they killed off of the land was Black people. Half the people they killed off of the land was Black people. When you talk about your Washita, your Blackfoot, and all these different types of native people here, it was indigenous Olmec people that they killed off. That was over here before slavery. That whole African American thing.
They're gonna
come a time where computers gonna turn on man. Niggas gonna have to fight robots. The higher ups gonna live under the land. Gas too high, they driving homemade go-karts. The end is coming, but we don't even see it. The knowledge is in the books, but we don't even read. Trying to save all the food and the water you can save. Babylon's about to fall. Famine is on the way. It ain't no time for no clubbing or no pill popping. Some satellites out of space, they tracking you and they still watching. Inflation across the whole country. Niggas rent went up $500 and they kids hungry. But you fools bragging with your new fashion. Everything man created will soon perish. It ain't no stopping me. My philosophy is prophecy. Poor people barely hit the lottery. How can we fix these problems? Cause ain't no way an hour of my life is only worth $15. The poor man getting poor. Cause the poor spend their money with the rich man, nigga. The rich man getting richer. Cause the rich spend their money with their rich friends, nigga. There gonna come a time